Hey y'all, it's the Doogie coming at you back in Borderlands after a long hiatus. Um, what am I doing in the Borderlands? I'm trying to get 100% achievement on Steam. Um, when I first started playing Borderlands 2, I was playing it on the PS3. I didn't own a PC at the time. So my first first year, so it's many playthroughs, many hours invested in this game. In its first year, that was all on the PS3. And then I got a PC for my Christmas slash birthday slash some other stuff. And I was like, okay, so I wanted to see, if all the talk about PC Master Race and all of that was a bunch of hooey, or if there was some real merit to it. So I figured the easiest way to do that was to play a game that I'd played, spent a lot of time with, knew, pretty well. And so then I get a, sort of um, apples to apples comparison between the same game on two separate platforms, two separate systems. And that's how I ended up. Um, that was the first set of games I played. It was the first game I played for the PC was Borderlands 2. And it was a major difference, man. It was freaking night and day between the PC and the PS3. With you know, PC Master Race, that's no bullshit. That shit is real, and I'm glad to be a member. So basically, a good chunk of the hell, a good chunk of stuff just didn't come over. Like achievements from the PlayStation is not compatible with Steam. So even if you converted a PlayStation save file, um, you still weren't gonna get any of the achievements. I'm trying to get this. I'm not paying attention. I'm sitting there talking to y'all. I'm not one of those people that's good at doing commentary and really concentrating. Like, commentary is fine when I'm not trying to be serious. But if I'm just like, if I am trying to be serious, I find it really hard to do both simultaneously. I'm not really a multitasker, to be honest. Not just in video game, like in general. I don't do multiple things simultaneously um, well. But if I'm concentrating on a single thing, I'm really good at doing that. So anyway, back to my story. So none of my save, when I converted, um, well, let me rephrase that. When it somehow magically happened that all my PS3 save files magically turned themselves into PC save files. Um, all you got were like where you were in your current playthrough. You didn't get uh, your any of your achievements. You know, come over and like I kind of felt like if you're in the middle of a particular achievement, let's say you're an achievement for, let's say Axton's achievement where you have to kill, I think it's like 100 people or 100 enemies with your saber turret. If on PS3 you were halfway through that and you had 50 people killed, and then your save file magically got converted or just changed itself to be what you call it, PC save file, and then you went and killed 100 enemies, you didn't automatically get the achievement. You really had to start from scratch, start from within the PC. At least that's been my experience with it. Okay, see, this is the hardest achievement for me to get is to get a second win by doing a shock dot on an enemy. It's been really difficult. Let me see if I can get it here with this guy. He's a 35 Furrow Rock. Barack. Not Barack, as in Barack Obama. Come on, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's see if I can't. Did it work? Nope. Yeah. So like I was saying, save files don't achievements don't carry over. So I'm essentially forced to redo them all. Well, not redo them all, but redo the ones that I didn't get on PC. I mean, I got a lot of them because I've just put in so much time into this game. Ridiculous. I think if you like look on my Steam profile, you'll see that this game just has a ridiculous amount of time invested, and that doesn't include the PS3 time. You know, the almost a year of PS3 time that I put into it. So, point being, I'm kind of preparing to sort of leave the Borderlands, at least until the pre-sequel stabilizes, and there's a Game of the Year edition, because I paid for this game twice. I paid full price for this game and all its DLCs, except for the Necromancer. For some reason, I don't know, like Gage just never appealed to me, so I never bought, the Necromancer pack. And like, I still don't feel any desire to play Gage at this stage. And I mean, like, I'd like to spend some time, become like a better Melee Zero player. Even do another playthrough with Axton on OP8, because he was my first character, and I haven't really done anything with him in a while. And but Gage, though, man, like I've played all the other characters except for Gage. My favorite is, of course, Krieg, then Zero. This is my first playthrough with Sal. Sal seems to be a kind of love him or hate him type of character. I guess all the characters like that. Like Krieg, a lot of people hate Krieg because of Silence the Voices. Some people think his blood explosion skills are OP, but you're never going to make everybody happy. So, it makes sense to have different classes so that, different people can find a class that suits their play style and, do what they think is important. I mean, a lot of people think Salvador money shot chains and all that stuff is OP and whatever, but it's all about having fun, man. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Where's the monstrosity? I'm gonna jack you up. Let's do this. Is he coming? Can't be nice to some people. Some creatures just don't appreciate what you're selling. Crap. Come on. There you go. There you go. That's a good Borak. Super badass fire. Trying not to kill you, but you refuse to be cooperative. I need to get up out of this bitch. Okay, we got him trapped. Put an end to this nonsense. You know, me trying to be nice to these assholes. Put some explosion on that ass. That's it, bitches. The hell? I did trap him. Ah, it sucks. I thought I had it. See? That's what happens when you try to do commentary and concentrate. Don't work. But at least it doesn't work for me. So yeah, I'm working on just getting 100% Steam achievement for this game. I have 6 to go, I think. You know what? I'm just going to go in here and kill his crew, kill his entourage. So it'll just be me and him. You know what I mean? Just make it personal, man. Just be like, what up, bitch? Let's hang out. Let's watch Sports Center. You know, shit like that. Shite like that. So, basically, I am trying to get the been there, done that. I think it's been there, done that. It's kind of like it's the challenge where, or the achievement, I mean. There's just so much shit in this game. You got challenges, you've got achievements, you've got missions, you've got Easter eggs. This game is just chock full, chock full of stuff, man. So anyway, the achievement, use the right words, that I'm working on is the one where you visit all the named locations in this DLC, in the Hammerlock DLC. So basically, to do that efficiency, I guess I could just run around through all the areas and just try to trigger the names. If I'm not mistaken, there's some areas that you cannot access without having particular missions activate. Like I don't think you can get into Veracitus's area without getting the mission from Hammerlock. So, in order to prevent running into that kind of scenario, I'm essentially just playing through the full DLC. And this way, I'll just, by virtue of playing the damn DLC, automatically cover all the areas and get that out of the way. My most recent achievement was the Pirate's Booty version of the Gadabout, I think is what it was called, where you have to do all the named locations in Pirate's Booty. That didn't take too long. Hopefully, wait, I think I passed it. Did I pass it? No, I think it's up here, yeah. Hopefully this one will be even shorter. Okay, so let's talk about Salvador real quick. So far, one of the things I actually like about Salvador, well, it's not particularly about Salvador. It's really more about Gearbox and their attention to detail. His point of view, he's actually shorter, so his point of view is shorter. Like you can't see over this. Like if I'm playing as Krieg, I can clearly see the skull without jumping. Here, I gotta look up at the damn skull. And I think that's pretty cool. It's kind of attention to detail type of thing where it's just like, you know what? Let's just do it right. You know what I mean? And plus, I kind of feel it's necessary sometimes to say stuff like that. Largely because, like I don't know if it's a lot, but I should say some of the YouTubers that I watch just sort of make it a point to like rag on Gearbox. You know what I mean? And if Gearbox does something foul, just wrong or something like that, then yeah, they sort of position themselves as a company that care about what their customers think and stuff. They say they take that feedback seriously. But the key word there is feedback. And a lot of dudes, I don't think it's about feedback. I think it's just like bitching. You know what I mean? It's like it's not really constructive criticism. It's just like whining bitchingness. Like wah. That's how it hits my ear. It hits my ear like wah. I'm whining and I'm bitching, and they're not actually offering any real feedback. And it could be that my opinion is different and I see things differently because I write code and I know how complicated and how hard how hard software is, man. Software is the most complex thing human beings has ever created in our entire history. And we've created a lot of shits. From buildings to cell phones to planes, you name it. We create a lot of stuff. And the most complicated thing we've ever made and continue to make is software. So when I hear dudes, people just whining and complaining about shit, it's like it doesn't make any sense. They have no context. It really is just like it sounds like children, man. I'm not talking about it just kind of it's bull. To me it is. It's like, if they're doing something wrong, you find a bug in the game, let them know, offer some criticism, whatever, but stop whining. You know what I'm saying? If it was that bad, don't play it. So, I try to be on the other side of the coin and give Gearbox props where it's deserved. You know what I mean? Bring your ass over here, dude. Let's go. What the I didn't shoot him that hard! I wasn't even trying to shoot him. Oh, I need to stop talking to y'all and play this damn thing. I'm gonna be here forever. Trying to finish this. Jesus. This thing doesn't even look. It's like the aim is all over the place until you shoot for a little while. I don't know, man. Okay, I'm cool. It's all good. It's all good. We'll just run back. Okay, anyway. So, Salvador, the Gunzerker as a class. How do I feel about him? How do I feel about that class? I'm glad it exists. There needs to be a class that sort of balances out OP8. In the absence of the overpowered levels, Salvador wouldn't be a character I would be particularly interested in. Primarily because I'm kind of like a first-person shooter noob. You know what I'm saying? First-person shooter, the majority of my gaming life, and that's been a very long gaming life. I've been playing video games for many, 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 many years. So the bulk of that time, let's say like 90% of that time, has been spent on console. Right? And on a console, I can't aim for shit. I mean, on a PC, it's hard enough. It's better. I'm getting better. The more I do it, the better I get. But as a general rule, like aiming and like fast twitch aiming and that kind of stuff, just not my forte. So the genre of games that I played the most were not first, it was fighting games. So big fan of Street Fighter, the Tekken series. Um, what else? Yeah, Street Fighter and Tekken. Those were. I played a little bit of Virtua Fighter, but I didn't really like them very much. I thought Tekken was a much better 3D fighting game than the Virtua Fighter series. But um, RPGs, played a lot of Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger. I loved Chrono Trigger, even though I didn't finish it. I need to go back and finish it. Um, third person shooters, the whole Resident Evil series up to Resident Evil 4. I haven't played 5 or 6. It's on my wish list, though. Not really my wish list. I have them in my Steam queue, but I haven't had a chance to play them. So those were like, yeah, and then I kind of got into Gran Turismo for a little while. So I guess driving sim, but I wouldn't say I was a huge fan of driving sims. But that's the kind of and what else? And adventure games like platformers, um, that kind of stuff. So bring it, do this. Let's see if we can get this right, folks. I'm shooting above his head this time. This way there can be no confusion about the who's it, what's it, where's, and why's. So, Salvador, back to my story. I didn't lose my train of thought. Sometimes it takes me a while to get back, but I get back. Yeah, so Salvador, being a gunzerker, particularly aimed at shooting, and in Borderlands, when you're shooting shit, criticals, it's critical. Let's do this. So basically, aiming is like important, and aiming and first-person shooters not being my strong suit, Salvador just did not appeal to me as a character in the least. Why can't I jump? I'm jumping. So he just never appealed to me. Um, that said, you'd think that Axton wouldn't also appeal to me, which he really didn't. He was just the most normal character to me at that point. And so, in my first playthrough, I wanted somebody easy to understand, not particularly technically sophisticated, and I didn't feel Axton was particularly technically sophisticated. So, but given the OP levels, man, raid bosses are a bitch. It's not like end game level 50 or even end game level 61, where any character, there was like specialized things you could do with characters. Like this guy named this YouTuber I watched named Baru used to do these awesome kill videos where he'd use like these really cool combinations of skills and weapons and gear and just like destroy bosses in these really creative and interesting ways. And so you could kill any of the raid bosses with any character if you put the right equipment together, and that was pretty cool. But OP8, you can't do that shit anymore. There are a couple characters and particular bosses that you could sort of kill with particular character, like the immolate thing with Hyperius and Maya. But with Salvador, you can kill anybody and anything, period. That's it. And so if you like to do farming and raiding and stuff, it's good to have a class for that. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I feel about Sal. Like Sal fills a niche that didn't exist, for me at least, until um, the OP levels came out. But in just like regular playthrough, he's not that interesting. The most interesting characters to me are Krieg and Zero, but that's because you've got melee characters smack dab in essentially what's supposed to be um what you call it, a first person shooter. And I thought that was like really, really, really interesting choice for Gearbox to make. And, because basically Borderlands is a hybrid game. It's not the Borderlands series. Period. It's a hybrid. It's not just hybrid in terms of, well, Borderlands 2 took the hybridization to another level. Like, so Borderlands 1, they called it the birth child, or the baby of RPG in a first person shooter. And so that's the basic element that makes the Borderlands universe loot. Damn, I didn't realize this gun was that damn powerful. Unless I'm just overpowered. I do have my bar on, so I do wreck shit. I got like 35% critical. Is it 35 or 25% critical hit damage? Yep, 31.1. Yeah, and you might be wondering how that's possible. I farmed the hell out of some badass ranks. When level 50 first hit, and that was end game, right? There was nothing but the Thresher. What the hell is his name again? Whatever the hell the name of the Thresher is, the first raid boss. So my end game fun was essentially farming badass tokens. So I got a ridiculous amount of badass tokens. And I'm not one of those people that think bar should be off, or that bar is a horrible idea. Bar is a fantastic idea. It was a fantastic thing to have, during end game at level 50, because there really wasn't anything else to do. There's nothing interesting, at least. You could just go mobbing and stuff, but I'm one of those people that I kind of need structure for stuff like that. I'm not like a fan of sandbox games where there is no structure. I like structured shit. I could be the fact that I'm a former Marine and shit, so hey, I like rules, man. So I farmed the hell out of some badass rank. Where the hell am I going? 15 eggs. I need to go and Alignment Monsters Rear. Alignment Monsters Rear. I got my face. Nakayama. Yeah, let's go do that. Let's go do that. I think I remember how to get to him. Okay. What the hell was I talking about? Badass rank. Check. Got a lot of them. I'm wrecking shop because I got 33% critical bonus on top of it. 800% that this gun carried. Let's see. I was talking about end game level 50. Why I didn't use Salvador? Wasn't all interesting. Yes, melee characters in what's essentially a first-person shooter. And they did a fantastic job with Zero. Well, okay, it's fantastic now that I understand it. I couldn't understand for the life of me the utility of his killing blow skill at first. I was like, wait a minute. One third. By the way, for those of you who don't get that reference, killing blow deals 1,000% additional melee damage, or is it 500%? It's some ridiculously high number. If you fully spec into it and you're wearing a comm. I think if you're wearing a comm, you get 1,000%. If you're not wearing a comm, it's only 500. But anyway, it's some ridiculously high number. But it requires the enemy be a third of their health or less. And I was like, wait a minute. That's stupid. Why? If he's almost, because I'm thinking a third, he's almost dead, right? So why do I need 1,000% of the third? I should get 1,000% I was thinking like 50% or more. You know what I mean? At least that was my read on it. But there weren't any raid bosses back then. At least I didn't know that the Thresher existed. So just thinking about it from the perspective, when you first playing the game, you're looking at the skill tree and the skills available, and I'm thinking to myself, this is a stupid skill, and it sucked, or so I thought. But time passes, experience develops, and raid bosses and OP8 and Killing Blow is hot shit, is all I gotta say. Huh. I guess you're just not gonna attack me. Is that a chubby? Nope. Nope. Where the hell is the other one? I do not remember. Let's do this. Do this. That motherfucker got smart. Smart. What? Is he using strategery on me? I think he's getting all strategery. And then I shot him in the face. Okay. Strategery over. Anyway, yeah, Killing Blow. Awesome, awesome, awesome skill. Especially when you're dealing with high level enemies where a third of their health is still ridiculous amounts of health. So okay, so after playing Zero for a while, Krieg came out, man, and Krieg, without question, is one of the most interesting characters for a first-person shooter I've ever come across. I just thought he was well put together. And not well put together as in perfectly balanced, because he is in no way a perfectly balanced character. Or the Psycho is not a perfectly balanced class. You really just have to use it and appreciate it for what it is. You know what I mean? Because he's not good with raid bosses, for example. With most raid bosses except for Pyro Pete, because he has so many minions and they like to cluster together. I thought there were only 2 of these people that come out at a time. Anyway, I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna die. I died. I don't know. Yes, I got tricked by the Matrix. I was trying to use willpower. Just like will not dying into being. Where the hell is the thing? Where is it? Where is it? I think it's over here. Aha, there it is. Deploy. Teleport. Yeah, so Krieg is just my absolute favorite. Followed closely by Zero. And then that's it. I don't dislike all the other characters. I just don't love them. Or, yeah, just don't love them. You know what I mean? Krieg I love. Zero I really like. Everyone else is cool. Everyone else is cool. And now that I'm spending some time with Sal's cool too, man. Sal's good peeps. Like I said, he's the raiding king. Some people might get upset that you can't raid equally well with everybody, but the game isn't meant for each character to just be a skin. They're supposed to be functionally different, so you play them differently, and therefore they're going to have strengths and weaknesses against particular enemies, or particular bosses, I should say, because you want every character to be able to be effective, in normal play. But I don't really think about raid bosses as normal play. That's like high level play. You know what I mean? But you don't have to fight a raid boss. You didn't have to buy any of the DLCs. But once you buy the game, you have to play. You have to deal with the normal playthrough, the story mode, and anything associated with that. So if as a game designer you made a game where only a particular class can get through the normal game, then that sucks. But for the additional content, especially the OP level stuff, especially Gearbox was quite clear about that too. Like, listen, OP levels are for hardcore gamers. This is not for normal folk. All right. So when I hear all these people bitching about, oh my god, OP8 is so unbalanced and so OP, it's like, that's exactly what they told you was going to happen. Shut the fuck up. Stop whining. Stop your bitching. You didn't have to buy it. You didn't have to play it. They were pretty. Yeah, bitches. Ugh. You know what happened? I remapped my keys, and the action skill button is no longer where it used to be. And I keep pressing the old version. Yep, see, I just did it again. This is one thing with physics. You can't see a damn thing. But it's so cool. It's so cool to look at. Son of a... that sucked. Anyway. Yeah, I'm going to have to turn down physics. It's kind of crazy. I can't see anything. And I have GeForce, the GeForce software, and it likes to auto-tune my game. So sometimes when I turn it off, it'll download new drivers and apply. Whenever a new set of optimization, or I guess you'd call it settings. I guess you wouldn't call those drivers, because optimization settings get downloaded. It'll reapply it to my game. So even though sometimes I turn off physics, I come back, physics is back. Word, is that how you rolling, son? Oh, I already forgot that I no longer have my slag on. Yes, let's do the slag. Do the slag. Do the slag. And now you're dead. And so are you. What? You're not slagged? Let's do this, man. Where the hell is he? I'm coming. Prepare yourself. Get shot. Oh, there you are. Come on down. Flag. Ah, I tried to melee him. Wait. There's a challenge over here. No, it's not you. Now you feel right. . one of these. It's one of these. Maybe it's over. No, I think it's over here. Are you it? Nope, doesn't feel right. Nope, that's not it. I haven't played this game in a long time. Like, I used to play it every day. But it's been many, 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 many months. Huh. Alright. Maybe it's on the second level. I'm looking for the Cult of the Vault symbol, by the way, for those of you. Where the hell is he? Want to pop a baby. I need to get out of Dodge. Put some distance between me and him. Till he manifests like a man. Alright, let's dance. That's what you get. You're being a douche. Pick these up, get some grenades back. Okay. If it's not. I'm just checking what's in here. Because you never know when you're going to get a legendary. So I always open all loot sources. Even when I don't expect to get anything good. Because it might be the day that you get a legendary or a pearlescent. Because of RNG. Alright? And even though the probability is low. See, the thing you have to understand about random number generators, about randomness in general, is basically randomness doesn't mean that something cannot happen or something doesn't happen. It just means that compared to something with a higher probability, the thing that has a low probability of happening happens less often than the thing that has a high probability of happening. But here's where it gets weird. When the space, the sort of the universe of possibilities is infinite, even things that rarely happen can happen ridiculously frequently. Like, you know, if something had a probability of like 0.000000001% chance of happening, you know, if you did it like 100 trillion trillion, if you repeated like the whatever test or experiment or whatever it is, 100 trillion trillion. Ah, crap! I forgot. I gotta go fight the damn scallion. Times that rare 0.0001 event might happen like a million times back to back, right? I mean, like some ridiculously high number that for a low probability event, you're like, there's no way in hell this thing with this low probability is happening so frequently, right? So that's the thing. Point being, always check loot sources because you never know when you might get a legendary or a pearlescent. And I want to get a Becca. I don't have a Becca. Here we go. Scallion. See, that's the thing with British people. Like I watch a lot of uh, documentaries about animals, like nature stuff, because whatever, I like it. And like I watched Blue Planet, that series by Doctor or Sir David Attenborough from the BBC. And the Brits have a way of saying things that, for some words, just like weirds me out. Or I don't want to call it annoying, because that might be too strong a word. Wait, I'm level 36, he's level 34. No wonder they're getting decimated. So, like you said, scallion. I'd never say scallion. It's a scallion. Or how they say beta instead of beta. It's beta, damn it. Mm-hmm. Come to Papa. Come to Papa. Oh, we're the same level. You don't stand a chance. Actually, I should have saved you in case he took me down, but he's not going to take me down. One of the cool things with Salvador is that jumping makes sense as a strategic technique compared to Krieg, where Krieg is a lot heavier than Salvador. So he doesn't get the same kind of height. See what I mean? Yep. I read him wrong. Didn't that time. Got me. It's all good though. Just a couple more shots. Really? You're still standing? Oops. I'm leaving the little ones in case I need a second wing. I doubt it, but better be safe than sorry. If I was playing Krieg, this would be like a great blood explosion opportunity. What? I'm out of ammo. Let's get some more. I'm using shock on a corrosive freaking enemy. You know what? I'll just switch. Hold on a second. Man, I'm fighting off a cold/flu. And I'm trying to avoid coughing. So when you hear me get really quiet, it's because I'm trying to stifle a cough so I'm not coughing into the mic and ultimately into my recording. Because I don't really do push to talk. I don't have a free hand for it, man. Anyway, I love Nakayama's stuff. This DLC is not my favorite DLC overall, but there's certain aspects of it that I just absolutely positively love. First of all, my favorite joke in the whole Borderlands 2 game is in this series. It's the one where um, after you meet Sir Hamelot and you guys go back to his lodge and you clear the lodge of ooh, I need that. And you clear the lodge of savages, and then uh he goes to fix the catch up boat station, and he's like, by the by, thank you for accompanying me on this trip. By the way, he talks about how it could get lonely, and he can't pleasure himself because of his metal hand. I thought that shit was just absolutely hilarious. I damn near choked the first time I heard it. What else do I love about this thing? Yeah, Nakayama's what you call it. His tapes, The Fall of Nakayama, that's some of the funniest stuff ever, man. I absolutely find that stuff hilarious. I don't know who wrote it, whoever did a hell of a job. Bye bye. In my opinion, but I think the bulk of people that play this game prefer find Tiny Tina to be the best DLC overall. I would agree with that. Oh, I gotta find the Savage Village. I really need to pay attention to my mission log because everything I need to know is right there.